is something special about Highbury. I still go back. When you're half a mile away, you still don't see the stadium. You look down, you see already the fans waiting for you. You go out of your coach and you go through your supporters. Everything was small, the corridors were small, but all your ancestors had their spirit in there. When you took a corner at Highbury, you could shake the hand of the fans. You could speak with the supporters. Or worse, you know. After games, the fans knew we were in the dressing room with a connection on the road. The players responded by opening the window. Teddy and Wright shouting with the fans, "I will see you when I come out," you know. Sometimes I need to have that feeling again, you know, and I go up the road and go down like before. It was real.
Gets me every time, that video. It gets me every time, right here. Back when there was a bit of pride in the club and a bit of spirit, a bit of heart. If anybody knew, you know, what club meant to people, it was Arsene Wenger. But those days are long gone. Those days are long gone, unfortunately. But let's listen. We're here to have a chat about Arsenal. We're here to have a chat about football. I've been graced with a wonderful, wonderful panel that have given me their time, which is always very humbling. Normski's on the way to continue his unbeaten streak of being on every Bruised Banana. Taryn's trying to, he's waiting for him to slip up. He's waiting for him to slip up so he can come in behind him. Pause. But Norm's going to be here in a few minutes. But until he gets here, I will introduce everybody else because I have an esteemed panel. One of the regulars now and an absolute gentleman, a man that gives me a shot on the old school show. And it's one of the biggest privileges I've had since I started this thing. And that's Jez. How are you today, Jez?
I'm all good, mate. Yeah, I wasn't going to make this show, but the night out I was going on tonight, unfortunately, the main host, who's his 65th birthday, is unwell. He's got an upset tum, so it's been pushed back. So I quickly scrambled and said to Shane, I can join. So I'm glad to be here with all you esteemed panelists.
Well, listen, Jez, it's always a pleasure. And yeah, if your mate's got an upset tummy, I think a curry night is the last thing he needs if he has an upset tummy. But making his debut on the show is the Arsenal Alliance, also known as Lee. Top bloke who watches content. He knows what he's talking about. And it's an absolute pleasure to have him on. Lee, how are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Actually, I ain't. I've got a bit chesty, to be fair. But apart from that, yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, well, it's going about, man. It's going about. The young lad, which I was very proud, actually. He's only just turned 15 and he was sick as a dog on Monday. And we actually had to trick him into staying home, like not wake him up because he's determined to never miss a day of school and stuff like that. And I took him, we went back into school then on the Tuesday, even though he was still sick. And I took him aside and said, listen, son, if you keep that work ethic in you, son, you'll be all right when you get older, man. You know what I mean? But proud day for dad when you see your son pushing through it like that. But now, big up to you, Lee, for coming on, man, and especially when you don't feel the best. It's very nice here. And Taryn, how are you today, my friend?
I am great, man. Thank you for the invite. I never take a spot on this panel for granted, you know. So thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure to stream with Jez Lee. Nice to meet you. You know, I'll subscribe to your channel here in a second to make sure that I consume some of your content as well. Big up to Matt. Yeah, Matt work rate is off the charts, you know. I don't know how you do it, bro, but this guy is always streaming, always out here putting in work for the club. But yeah, big up to you, man, and big up to the chat. Thanks for having me.
No, absolute pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. And I put out a post earlier saying that it never stops being humbling when people give up their time for you. It means the world. But anybody on this panel, if they ever need me, they know I'll be there for them as well. Big up to the chat as well, you legends. Make sure that you're slapping the likes and make sure that you're subbing to everybody that's on the panel. They're all pinned because Vigilante was in here being vigilant as always, and he gave me all of the channels and I pinned them to the chat. So make sure that you go in and hit a sub if you haven't already. And last but definitely very not least, Matty, the Southern Gooner, thank you so much for giving me your time. How are you doing today, my friend?
Doing well, man. I am putting in the double shift today. I just got through with DJB, and we're here. Jed's good to see you, my friend. Darren, good to see you. Lee, pleasure to meet you as well. And of course, Shane starts every day. Shane starts my morning workout routine every day.
He's been mine for the last since I've discovered his channel as well.
Shane has helped me lose 25 pounds.
Hey.
I'm making you sick, Matty, am I? Listen, that's what it's all about. We all show support for each other. And we're quite lucky that over on this side that all of the people that put out content are real people. So at least you know that you're not listening to someone talking bollocks. And that actually leads me very nicely into the first thing I wanted to cover. It's something that I put up this morning, and then someone in my chat pointed out. Not only my whole point of it was, I'll put it up first. All right, this is the type of thing AFTV are running with, right? Mm-hmm. Managers that have got 89 points or more, right? Sir Alex Ferguson, Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Mikel Arteta, right? And then they finished it with Mikel is only 43. This annoyed me because the first thing that pops out is the only one on it not to win a league, right? He's the only one on it not to win a league. So already it's a ridiculous graph to put up. So we are celebrating mediocrity. And this is the biggest Arsenal channel out there. This is what they do. They push this out and all the kids think, they see Mikel's name beside all these legends and they go, okay, we're in good company. Sir Alex Ferguson won too many Premier League accounts. Wenger had 3. Mourinho had 3. Pep Guardiola 6 or 7 at this point. Klopp only got 1, but he won Champions League. Arteta has 1 FA Cup. It wasn't until my chat pointed out, didn't Conte get more? Didn't Conte get more? So I did a quick bit of research. 94, 95. Granted, there was more games, but Dalglish, 89 points.
Yeah.
Conte, 93 points, won the league.
In his first year?
Yeah.
89.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did they all get 89 points or more and not make this list, they all won the league as well. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that those 3 didn't go on the league or on that list. Dalglish won it 2 years after getting promoted. Mancini won it in his second year, and Conte won it in his first. So if they stick them on that list, suddenly Arteta's 89 points don't look very good. Don't look very good at all. But Jez, listen, we over this side, we know what goes on with the way these channels and stuff protect this manager. But when they're putting this stuff out there, the sad fact is about 95% of people just take it as a given. Mm-hmm. They just take it as a given and they don't question it. So they just presume this guy's great. It's like when he did his press conference and he said, oh, we have the most points over the last 3 years. We don't. Nobody corrected him. You know, so how do we go up against that? How do we sort of, I can put that out on X and Lee can retweet it and a few thousand people will see it. But the majority of people are already convinced that this manager's up there with the list he's beside. For me, it's a disgrace that he's even on a list like that. But I mean, what do we do here, Jez? How do we go up against it? Do we just have to keep fighting our corner, or do you reckon there's anything we can do to get the word out there? Because for me, the media's gone too far now with protecting this guy. I just would like to get your thoughts on it.
Well, look, this is absolute bullshit. It's abject negativity. I saw something else. I think it was today. Some clown has put out Arteta has won the most points in games as a manager. You tell me this stat, right? I'm not a statistician. How the hell can you get 3.25 points a game? How does that mathematically work? Because
man,
I'm missing something here, because I thought the max you can get is 3. Right? Now, for my, the way I look at it, logic, that means he's won every game he's ever played, plus.
Plus so a few more.
That means whoever came up with that stat is including cup games. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Now, we all know that list you just put up there. There's some absolutely iconic managers there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the greatest we've ever had in history. Nobody can argue with that. Mikel Arteta, he ain't won nothing. An FA Cup. Yippee-doo. I love the FA Cup, and I was, it's great to win it in lockdown, right, against the Chelsea team that really on the day was shit, and they lost their best player on the day when he pulled his hamstring. So I'm not falling down that bloody rabbit hole, because at the end of the day, this manager is crap. I praised him the other week when I did give him credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
If you honestly want me to praise him for the game against Bilbao the other night, it wasn't a great performance. We got it. We walled them down with our negative football and won the game. And I'll take it. And I'm sorry, I will take it, because at the end of the day, I've seen it being done before under the once great George Graham, who did play boring football, and it was 1-0 to the Arsenal. We all know that one. But at the end of the day, look what he won. Why isn't he on that list? Why isn't he there?
Yeah.
He's won a shed load more than Arteta. He won 2 Division 1s. So at the end of the day, this is just all pure bullshit, man. And the problem is, you are quite right, before I shut up. The younger fans in these channels will take that and believe it. Because they would think, oh, that's fact. They won't question it and say, well, actually, no, you're wrong. That isn't fact. That isn't right. You've got it wrong, and I'm going to question you about it. But that doesn't happen. Because people are these younger fans are frightened to go against the narrative. They don't want to be abused and be unpopular and get hate and all that stuff on their social media content streams, whatever it may be. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on WhatsApp, whether it's on X, or all that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, don't fall for it. And I said to you the other week, this manager one day will go, whether he chooses to go of his own accord or whether he is asked to leave. Be up Nolski. And it is a matter of time. It may not be anytime soon, but you tell me 6 months after Arteta has gone and when he goes, is anybody going to come up with this bullshit?
No.
No, of course they won't.
No. This is the thing though, Jez, and it's what gets to me is because there's so many of them that you find, and you just a quick check, and you go, well, that's not true. And the thing is, people say, oh, well, what does it mean? Having a football knowledge means nothing. You're living in the past, all that stuff. Well, then my chat have a football knowledge, because the second I put that graph up, loads of them, it was lighting up with people going, well, that's not true. You know what I mean? So they knew, because they have a football knowledge. They knew that it wasn't true. So they knew they were being lied to. So it's the same as anything in life. If you're educated on something, you can't get lied to. If you don't educate yourself on it, anyone can lie to you about it. But listen, Lee, and make sure, big up to the chat as well, make sure you are subbing to everybody. They're all here now, and all their channels are there. Arsenal Alliance, Jez's Arsenal, BBK Sports, Southern Gooner, and Normski TV. Please make sure that you're subbing to them. But Lee, you have a channel, so you know what it's like. It's a swamp out there. It's it's very hard to sort of. I find, and maybe I'm biased, but I think the people, and I want to say our side. I've heard your opinions. You're the same as us. You don't like the way the things are going at the moment. You don't like the way the manager works and things like that. But I mean, you must see stuff like this where it's just complete and utter lies, and it's to me, if you're having to come up with stuff like that to make this manager look good, then deep down you must know he's not. The people that are doing this, they must know he's not if they're having to make up these lies. So what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I think I don't know why he's being pushed. I don't know why he's being pushed so much. I don't know what they see in him. But I don't know why these they like it. I can't get my head around it. Listen, I was not in favour of him coming to the club in the first place. When he turned it round the first time and finished second, the second time and finished second, I started to flip flop a little bit. Thought, give him one more year. But I thought I sort of see something. But last season we dropped off, even though we still finished second. We was nowhere near the playing as well as we did the year before. And I thought that he's lost it up. He can't. He run out of ideas. You know, we how many games did we draw from winning positions? I know we drew 14 games, but about 10 of them.
21
points.
21 points.
Yeah, we win the league. If we win them games, we win the league by 11 points because we was 10 points behind Liverpool in the end, weren't we? I had someone in my chat earlier, and I mean, you know, he wasn't rude or anything. You know, it was all right. But he's on the bandwagon with Arteta, like seriously. And I was trying to say to him, look, I said, we're talking about the summer signings as well with players like Gyökeres and Eze. I was talking about how isolated and how he's played out position on the left, and he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have it. He was saying, no, he's picking the ball up in midfield. Arteta wasn't telling him. I said, listen, I said, go and watch Shane Gooner. I did say to you, I said, he put an heat map. I said, he put this morning, he put an heat map up about when he was at Palace compared to when he's here. I mean, what can't you see? What do you like about him? What is he doing? He's done this, he's done that, he's took us from here to there. I went, yeah, but he's not taking us over the line. I said, I bet he actually come on the stream. I actually put the link. He come on. He's a young man. I say early mid-20s. But you can tell that he's just following. Like he's like following what he's being told, believing everything. He was saying that. I said to him, well, I don't think Gyökeres and Eze, certain players weren't Arteta's choices, because don't forget he tried to sign Sesko last summer, January, and this summer before Gyökeres. I think he's playing him out of position. He's not playing to his strength on purpose to prove a point. He's playing Eze out of position on purpose to prove a point. Yeah, you know. And I was saying that I think his days are numbered. I think Berta's there. He's getting the players in place for whoever the next manager is going to be. Yeah, hopefully. And that's what he's doing. And he was disagreeing with me. But he was like he can't do no wrong. Whatever he says is, whatever Arteta says is gospel. They're not getting it. They're not seeing it. They're not seeing all these. I moaned about the crazy sayings. Like, you know, you called it out as well about when they're not substitutes, they're finishers. Impact players and all that. And he was going, well, what's wrong with that? I went, why is he trying to write? Your quote was you. I actually mentioned you. I said, he's trying to reinvent the wheel. What is he doing? What is what? Well, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And he's trying. I think that's what he's winning a lot of the young fan base, because he's coming out of all these new fandangled sayings, and you know, he's cool. I don't know. I can't. It's not about football for me. It's about Arteta. It's all about him. We don't care about the players. Look at the duty of care to the players playing injured players.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's disgusting. I've done some nutty videos on it as well.
But you said to me before that you lost the plot in one of them, and I watched it, and I was like, nah, man, you're just letting it out. Like, don't ever apologize for letting it out, man.
I try and control my emotions, though. You know, my dad says to me, like, listen, don't let your emotions control you, control them. I do, but you know, every now and then I did try and keep it in. But really, truly, if I'd have gone ballistic, then I would have had to refilm it. Do you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't have heard the word I was saying. All spit coming out.
Frothing at the mouth. But you're right, though. Like the kids do fall for it. The kids fall for the act. And he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows the buzzwords. He knows the new merch and all that sort of stuff. But Taryn, there's a reason that the other managers were left off this list, right?
Yep.
Not only that it will prove that they, did it quite quickly, but that's a subliminal way of just putting him next to these legends. That's all they're doing. They know what they're doing. This is all, as views would say, it's a think tank. They know what they're doing. Let's come out with that. And I said it to Lee and to Jez, and I'll say to you as well. If you're sitting down to do that, to meticulously put that together and go, how can I word this to put him in with them? Then you know there's a problem, because you wouldn't have to do that. If he was great, you just put him on a list and say, here he is. He's got the same amount of leagues as this guy. He's got the same amount of leagues as that guy. But as I said, no matter how many times you prove it wrong, Lee's after reposting that on X for me, right? And someone concentrated on, which I knew they would, right? They ignored this and they ignored this. They said, yeah, well, there was 42 games back then when Blackburn did it. So they ignored the other two and they just concentrate on the one thing to try and discredit me, right? Yeah. So, I mean, what are we doing here, Taron? I mean, how does it keep? How do you stop it? I mean, there's not really much we can do. These big channels have all the power, and if they're pumping out lies like that, I mean, we just have to sort of try and discredit them as best we can and move on, I suppose, don't we?
And big up to Dana Potts in the chat, the first lady. It's borderline irresponsible. It's like a political debate when you have to actually do fact checking. Like the fact that fact checking is a thing when you're supposed to have open, honest conversation with people who are leaders is criminal. But they're so desperate. They are so desperate to put him in conversations where he doesn't belong. Then they do this. It's borderline irresponsible. And it's an emotional argument at best because it doesn't do anything that makes him. All it does is make him feel good about Arteta because it doesn't accomplish. Can we put this down to anything tangible? No. So it's an emotional thing. It has no basis. It's kind of like if you take a peg of garlic and you peel a tangerine and you put it there, it fits. But does it belong there? It'll fit in perfectly. It's just, it's convenient stats of no consequence. It's just madness. And there's AFTV, but this is what they do with it. This is how you get your club sponsored trip to Singapore. You do stuff like this. You know, I know AFTV is a business, then they do well, but those trips to Singapore cost quite a few money, a few pence. So this is how you stay in good graces with the club. This is how you ingratiate yourself with the key players by, propping up the manager and put him in conversations where he doesn't belong. But anyone with eyes, I think Links in the chat said, yeah, Klopp came second with 97 points. Liverpool shut the door. They came second with 92 points. They closed the door and moved on. But we're propping up 89 points that led to nothing. It's a convenience trying to put him in a conversation where he doesn't belong. And it's embarrassing. And it's a crime against football, and we're the ones that have to be out here in these YouTube streets answering for these crimes against football. That's being committed by AFTV. It's criminal.
Yeah. It is criminal. It is criminal. I didn't want to start it off on such a negative thing, but I was already upset about the graph because all the other managers had won leagues, right? So I was already upset about that. It's only when it clicked that they're just lying through their teeth that other managers have not only got those points, but they've won leagues with those points or more. That it's just like it's gone beyond a joke. Maddie, you understand? You've worked in journalism. You know how the game. You know how the game works. You know how political parties will twist the narrative and they have all these think tanks and all that sort of stuff. But that's sort of, it's beyond the joke now at this point, isn't it?
Oh, it's past the joke, man. This is what you call, this is Spin City right here.
Took the words out my mouth.
This is Spin City right here. When you see this right here immediately, this is like a test question when you was in elementary or high school. It says A, B, C, D, all of the above, or B, none of the above. This brother here is in none of the above. He is in the none of the above. Right there. In his place, and they actually placed it right purposely. They actually did it right decent because he's at the very bottom of that list. Exactly the right way he should be, at the very bottom. Shouldn't even be on the list.
No.
This brother, 89 points. What should have been on that is managers who have not won a trophy in gaining 89 points. And then you'd have been, okay, Arteta, that's correct. Arteta's on that list. But they tried to spin it the other way. Let me tell you something. AFTV can spend whatever they want to spend this year. I'll say it like I said it the other night. Joshua has stated that the manager needs to have some form of success this season. They can keep coming out with numbers. They can show charts. They can show heat maps. They can show drifting in from the left. Whatever they want to come up with this year. The bottom line here is the manager has to atone for and me and JB just got through talking about it, $1.3 billion spent, pound spent, $1.3 billion, 10 million coming in. Think about that. There's not enough spin that you can put on this manager that's going to 1.3 billion. Let me tell you something. When I see stuff like that, I just shake my head. Because I know that is completely out of place, and that all they're trying to do is trying to paint a narrative. And too bad they're running out of canvas to keep painting. There's no more canvas. They just paint. They paint on the walls now. Anything they can find to try to make this manager look good. This is year 6. They're acting as if this is year 2, year 1, year 3. This is year 6. year 6, and this manager is still doing the same thing that we've seen the last few seasons. Look, there's an old saying. My grandma used to say this when I was a child. She used to say, son, I didn't just fall off the turnip truck last night. So when I see this kind of stuff, I know exactly what it is. This is just we've got to make sure that we have, Shane, panel, I'm pretty sure that they have some kind of running list of requirements. Jez used to be an engineer. Before you sign off on a building, you got to make sure everything is in order. Everything is documented properly. Everything is punched in. They've got a running list of what needs to be done throughout the year. And then once you've completed this, then we're able to release the tickets to Dubai, tickets to wherever we need you to go, wherever you want to go. But once you complete all of this, then you can receive this. And that's what that is right there. That's just one little notch. Well, did you do our weekly Arteta kiss ass? Yes, we did. Okay, let's check. Let's check one check in there for the week. So I would predict tomorrow, considering we're getting ready to play City, we're going to get a new one tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll have it Saturday. Some new check off that they got on the checklist that they've got to complete. So we'll get one tomorrow morning, especially with the press conference tomorrow, with the Matrix tomorrow. So when you see those kind of lists, gentlemen, you just sit back and just laugh and jest because it's a clown show.
Yeah, and the last press conference we got his gem of not substitutions, they're finishers now, and he said it 2 or 3 times before, making sure that they realised what he was talking about. But he was very smug about it. Big up to here we go again. He says, I don't believe anything. Thinking for myself, I feel that people need to stop thinking that people are brainwashed because they have different opinion. I don't think everything Arteta says is gospel. That's fair enough, mate. And then you're one of the few. Unfortunately, people do fall for it. They really do. You mightn't think it. And brainwash might be a harsh term, but I've had so many people go for me on X with, what are you saying? Arteta has the most points in the last 3 years combined, because Arteta said it, and it's not true. He lied. City had the most points. He barefaced lied in a press conference, and they all run with it. They all use it to defend him. He said so many things that they use. So listen, if you're thinking for yourself, that's great. And fair play to you. All the people on this panel think for themselves. It's people in the chat that do. But sadly, there is a lot of people that don't. And more than ever now, because of the internet. And as Jezza says, especially the young people, the young people in general want to be part of a group. And now that the group is bigger than just a school classroom or a local football team, it's the whole internet. So they have to pick a side and they want to go to the biggest one. What's the biggest group? Where can I get accepted? Okay, Arteta's great. I'll go into that one. So fair play to you for keeping you. Always do that, man. Always think for yourself. And fair play for the super chat. Absolute legend. Fair play to you. And big up to Stephen Gilchrist. He's back. He's back. He hasn't been in these streets for a while. Work has been taking him away, but he's back now. And he says, good evening, guys. Well said, Maddie. After 1.2 billion spent, he must win a trophy. Absolute facts. Big up to you, Stephen. You're a legend, man. Absolute legend. And it's great to have you back. Normsy, I don't know if you saw it when you came in, but this is the latest AFTV, right? So I was already angry. You're probably in this morning. I was already angry at it because they put this guy on a list with all the rest of them won leagues, all of them multiple apart from Klopp. But Klopp won Champions League, he won cups, he won everything there is to win. A quick check proved that not only have other managers got 89 points or more, but they've all won the league. So AFTV just blatantly lying. Just why not? Just throw a lie out there. And my point was, yeah, they can go and lie, do what they want. But sadly, most of the AFTV fans that look at that won't question it. So they will start saying that, oh, well, look at the companies in. And then you have to correct them. And then they go, oh, well, you just got an agenda for correcting me. You know, so this is what we're dealing with. And I was just saying to the lads, I mean, what do we do? Do we just keep fighting our corner, or rolling over is not an option, is it?
No,
maybe I'm being melodramatic, but I don't know what to do.
No, we can't roll over because it's getting worse. we got to be the 300, battling it, against the millions. We have to be that 300. And what would possess or they have the gall to go and even put that there? What it amounts to nothing. 89 points. So what? Beating the top 6, so what? What is it at the end of the day? Factually, what has it got you? Nothing, nada. Yeah. So it's just a waste of time. They do it because they love this cult figure. He's a cult figure. Talking about spin doctors, yeah. Look at my Michael's favorite group of the 90s, the spin doctors, right? All right. what's his name? Tony Blair had a great spin doctor.
Yeah.
Right. He had a great spin doctor, and this is what AFT are doing for him. Arteta, listen, when Arteta leaves his job, he should go into politics. Just go into politics. That's where your genre is. Yeah, and become what we call the defense minister, because all you like doing is buying defenders and turning up and just playing defensive football. So just stick to what you know. Become a politician and become the defense minister and sort that out. The country will be safe, right? But this is what we're dealing with, and day in, day out, you've gone on X, Shane, and you've been in the pits, you've been in the matrix. You know, I've gone in there, fetched a few things out there, come out there, all sane and everything. But it's crazy how they portray this manager, and the fact that they're putting him in with these esteemed managers that have won trophies, and that they're doing it because the millions of people that watch AFTV, are going to take that up. As Lee said, he had a guy come in his channel. I'm not surprised that he's going to be 20. Not surprised. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens, is that these guys believe a lie. Arteta tells lie after lie. Arteta speaks with forked tongue.
That was him, Monsky. That here we are again. That was the guy that gave you the super chat. That was the young fella. This guy, yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to come on some time and have a balanced discussion about this subject, because I feel like that graphic can also be seen in a different way, a bit different light. Okay, no, listen, I appreciate the super chat, but I have to disagree that it can't be seen in a different light, because they have just said here managers that have achieved 89 points or more in a Premier League season.
Yeah.
Now, they've left out 3 on purpose. You can say, oh, well, they're just putting in a random bunch of managers. That's all strategically done to put him next to all these legends.
Yeah.
Make it look like he's done what they have done, because then they finished it with he's only 43 or something when he did it. But why did they leave out these? There's 89 points in the Premier League season. There's 93 points in the Premier League season. There's 89 points in the Premier League season. They left it out on purpose. But I understand that you could say, oh, well, it's just, you can see it in a different light because, well, they're just putting in a handful of people that have done it. But there's no way that they left out the 3, let's get it right, lesser known managers than the ones they put in there. Yeah. They put him next to all these legends to make a point. And I understand that you might want to see it in a different way. And listen, you can come on sometime, I'm sure. Just reach out to me on Instagram. We can make it happen, no problem. But nah, man, sorry, I have to disagree. But sorry, Norms, you were talking.
No. As Lee, just obviously that's the guy. And to what does it mean? You know, beating the top 6. What is it, just to make us just feel good? I mean, wouldn't you? Here we go again. Wouldn't you like to just see us lift the trophy at the end of it? I mean, if he had a trophy and he was sitting amongst those guys, they'd say fair play. But there was no point of 89 points. So what? He's got 89 points. What? So what? My question is then, he's got 89 points. What did he achieve? That's the question I'll be asking. What did he achieve?
Yep.
Because it means nothing. It means nothing to me.
It's the same as the points in the calendar year, bollocks. It means nothing.
Yeah, why do it? And the fact is that he's the one that screws it out, and they latch onto it. Just like he's used the word finisher. Oh, I like to use finisher because they're my finishers. They come on, no, they're not. They're substitutions. That's it. Yeah. So what about the unfinishers? You can use anything, right? Is this? I just get tired of all the stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth, and then the people that lap onto this thing. It's just this whole thing about Eze playing as a winger for thinking. Well, there's a stat that last season, I might be wrong, but there's a stat where he has played. I can't remember which show I done it on last night. He has played. This is from Canon Stats, right? 24-25 season. He played 90% as a cam.
Yeah.
Right? 6%
three games he played out the wing. 3 games.
Thank you. 6% as a winger, left winger, and 3% up front.
Yeah.
What we doing here? What are we doing?
We know this. We know this, Norms. We know this. We said it. No matter how many times you say he played 3 out the wing, they go, no, look at this heat map. Look at this heat map. Which we will get into. That is the next point, by the way. And big up to Stephen Gilchrist, says, unless you're holding the big Medulla, you are nothing. And this is the thing. And big up to Stephen Gilchrist. And of course, here we go. Here we are again for the super chats. It does mean the world to me. Absolute legends. I was saying this morning, and I've said this often, my Liverpool mates to me, like when you live in Ireland, as any other fan apart from Liverpool and United are your big rivals, because you go to school, about 80% of the kids are Liverpool or United, right? Split between them. And then if you're Arsenal, you're sort of the minority. So but my Liverpool mates, whenever they used to say 97 points to me, it used to drive me wrong because I just go, well, how many points did City get? It doesn't matter. I said, no, it does. How many did they get? Like 98, 97. I'm sorry, it means nothing, right? So I have to hold my team to the same standards. If I'm saying that to them, I have to hold my team to the same standards. 89 points. Did we win the league? No, doesn't matter. It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. I'm sorry. If you don't win the league, it doesn't mean anything. We should have had 92 points because we should have beaten them. Right. When we got to the Etihad, we had them on the ropes. We should have beaten them, and we would have won the league. Then it would mean something. But
Leicester won the league. Leicester won the league with 81 points. So what are they saying?
Yeah. We beat them twice that season. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
The thing is, though, Shane, it doesn't that statement that what you put up there. Right. If you look at that, it doesn't say 89 points and won.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. But fact. So Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp won leagues on 89 points.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta achieved 89 points, but he didn't win anything.
Yeah.
So that's what crushes that little display there straight in the bin. That is a bit of paper you'd get and go, yeah, okay, thanks, chuck. Because it's absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. And it's pointless. It's a pointless, whatever from AFTV, it's pointless. Because you haven't researched and said, Arsene Wenger won the Premier League right, in 2002 on 89 points. You didn't say Alex Ferguson won Man United's Premier League on 89 points. Because that would then completely dismiss their argument.
Yeah.
Because all they're saying is, oh, well, these people have, these managers have got 89 points. Yeah, but what you haven't said is that those managers who did get 89 points won a trophy. Arteta didn't.
They've intentionally left it out, though, Jez. They've intentionally left it out, you see. That's my issue.
Sorry, go on.
No, that was it. No, that's what I was just saying. I was just adding to your point. Sorry, Tara. Where you go?
No, I was reading the super chat, and there's this narrative is being ran. He bought Ben White to play at centre back, but Saliba was just so good when he came back from loan. He had to play Ben White because he was
forced to play him. He even get Ben White. He get Ben White Saliba's number.
He did number 4. People forget that. So I hear you. Here we go again. But we follow this club religiously, just like you do. So we know the narratives and we can pick it apart. But he did not buy Ben White to play right back. He was de facto because Saliba was just class and unbenchable.
That's right. Yeah, no, it wasn't a choice. He fell into it. And look, he got a song out of him. And I've always given Arteta credit. He doesn't get every defender better, but he ironed out the mistakes out of Gabriel. Saliba's done well since I still think his best season he's ever had was the one at Marseille, and I'll never change my mind on that until he has a better season. Ben White, I really like him at right back, but Timber's a better right back than him now. I think a lot of Liverpool fans last year would have gone against your Ben White's the best right back in the league. I'm pretty sure that Newcastle might have had something to say about that as well. But listen, he's one of the best. I really like Ben White. But again, it was circumstance that forced him to do it. He didn't want to drop his £50 million signing, so he pushed him out the right. That's how that worked out. But listen, I get your point. I do get your point, and thanks again for the super chat. And I do want to get into this heat map thing, right? Because we all saw the bollocks that Igal was talking on when he showed the Eze heat map, and he's proven that he's going to play. I don't normally use this sort of shit because it means nothing, right? But look, just have a look at his heat map since he's been at Arsenal. I mean, you couldn't make it up. You could not make it up. If you drew it yourself, people will go, well, that's a bit carried away. But look at the difference, right, in his heat map. Now, this is a guy that we've all seen the clip when he tried to drift inside against Bilbao, and Arteta bollocked him to get back onto the touchline, right? And it wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't to let Calafiori go into the 10, right? To let the left back go into the 10 position. Now, I was saying this morning off the cuff, I said, I bet you if you check Calafiori's heat map, it'll be more like Eze's at Palace than Eze's at Arsenal will be, right? I did a quick search. right? That's Calafiori's heat map, right? So he's actually closer to the Eze one at Palace. So he's given more freedom to go into the 10 than Eze is. Eze's heat map is this thing here, this line here. So my thing is, right, and I said this at the time, I wanted Eze and I wanted Gyökeres, I wanted Cunha. My wish list, when we were started the summer, we were all on panels saying what's your ideal signings. Most of us says Gyökeres, most of us said Eze. Some of us said, you know, the likes of Cunha. I really wanted Cunha, people like that. But the thing is, right, that I wanted Eze if you play him in the 10, Jez. That's where I wanted him. And then I said, if we need a left winger, I'd rather get Lookman or someone that's a natural winger than get Eze and play him there. Why do we... Now, I'm of the belief that Eze was given to this guy. He didn't want him. It was as soon as Havertz got injured, Berta said, right, I'm getting you a player. Well, I don't really... Yeah, well, you're getting a player. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about that. I also think that come Sunday, Martinelli's going to start and Eze will be benched. I'm almost certain of that. But why do we have to sign players that don't play in the natural position? Is it just arrogance of this manager that he goes, well, I'm going to change him. I'm going to fix him. I mean, why can't we just sign a left back because we need a left back? Why can't we just sign a left winger because we need a left winger? Why do we have to sign players that don't play in that position just so he can tinker with them? What is it, Jay? I just don't get it, mate.
Look, this is quite simple. Right, he didn't want Eze.
Yeah,
it was. I called it the day before when Havertz got injured. I said, and I was right. Arsenal will go back. It will go back in for Eze now, right? Yeah. And they did. And he came to Arsenal like that. He was done, dusted, signed within 72 hours, roughly, somewhere around that time frame. It's quite evident he don't want him. Because you know why, right? He's a central attacking midfielder. That is his natural position. Yeah? But at the end of the day, you know, as soon as Havertz is back fit, Eze's out of it. And that is why he's sticking him out on that left. He's exposing him.
To drop him.
Because he don't want him. And when he said the other night, I read it, hug the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't hear it. I watched him say it, hug the line. So he's dragging him out of position purely and simply because he doesn't want to be proved wrong. And that is where, unfortunately, we've also got Gyökeres, who's not getting the service he deserves, which he would get from Eze in the camp. Right, if he played 10, yeah, because that guy Eze has got supplemental skills, which Havertz has not got. So this is where it's so bloody obvious, man. That what is going on with this club? He's an arrogant, narcissistic prick, and we will never achieve greatness with him because all he does, he brings players in, takes away their natural talent. He's done it with way too many players now, right? He's done it with Martinelli, great goal the other night from him. He got lucky, the keeper totally spooned that one. But I'll take it, I don't care. Goal's a goal to me, however it's scored. But this manager is never going to change. And I hope he gets caught out very quickly and the fans realise he is not the man you all, not us, but a lot of fans, he's not the manager you think he is. Because he's not. Right? We got away with it the other night in Bilbao. They're a pretty poor team. We bored them to death and eventually they capitulated. We won 2-0. Okay, brilliant. Love it. Champions League, 3 points. We've got to take that one. And some games you win dirty. Right, unfortunately, big games like Liverpool away, again, he couldn't get it over the line because he turned up with a completely different defensive mindset. And I guarantee you this one thing now, right? We've got City coming to town on Sunday and it'll be the same boring bullshit.
Yep.
Man City aren't going to be the team they were last year at the Emirates. They're going to want revenge. Pep's that sort of person. Arteta, I agree with you. He will probably start Martinelli. I would like him to start Nweri. I'm not convinced he will. Rice, to me, looks out of sorts. He doesn't look fully fit. And it's going to be a long, hard afternoon again. It's not going to be fluent and like, oh, yeah, this is the Arsenal, this is the Arsenal. Man City had a write-off day last year. A write-off day, which don't happen very often, gentlemen. That don't happen often. And I don't think it'll happen again. Because he will have it. He will have that team right bang on. We ain't got Saliba. Saliba literally pocketed Haaland last season. Calafiori, nah, sorry. I think he's going to get absolutely bloody schooled. So I don't look. You know, I'm no football expert. I've been watching football a long time. Fair enough. What I'm fed up of seeing is the predictability of this manager. If we can all sit here, right, all of us here right now, and sit here and say, this is what he's going to do. We know what he's going to try and do, right? He's playing Eze out of position, bullshit stuff that comes from Miguel's mouth. I just cannot believe sometimes. But at the end of the day, it'll be a long, hard afternoon again. It'll be a ball fest. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be a nightmare. It'll be a nightmare. We'll be able to pick his team. If we know who's fit, we'll be able to pick it. I think if Odegaard's fit, he throws him in. The Saliba one is, to me, it's one of the decisions for once where I don't really envy him, because if Saliba's fit, play him. But, I mean, if he gets turned too quickly and he goes down again, Mosquera's done well. But, I mean, we don't fall into the trap of saying he's the best centre-back since Maldini because he's had a few good games. He looks the business. He really does. But coming up against and Haaland scored again tonight, by the way. That guy looks like he is up for it this season. This looks like the Haaland of the first season. He is hungry to shred people. And I would say Haaland is going home after this match tonight, and the only thing on his mind until 4:30 Sunday is taking Arsenal apart. That's all he'll be thinking about. He will be thinking about that non-stop. And coming up against Haaland, an in-form Haaland, for any centre-back in the world, I think is the hardest test you'll get in world football. I think as a centre forward, when he's on form, there's no one can get near him. But Lee, you know, I'll just get these super chats really quick actually before I come to you. Big up Sean, big up to the legendary Suge, man. He says big up Sean, the legendary panel. Make sure you subscribe to everyone. I don't care about XG, most points in a calendar year, or beat the top 6. Real fans want to see trophies, not fluff. Exactly. And that's exactly it, Suge, man. You're in my chat often enough. You always speak facts. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me. I don't care. I don't care if we win the league on 74 points. If we're lifting that trophy, the points don't matter. I had it out with Igal before when he was saying, oh, what do you mean it's the lowest you felt? What about 1993 when you finished 10th? When we won both cups? Is that the year you're talking about? I was walking on air, mate. I was walking on air. We lifted 2 cups. What are you talking about? What a ridiculous thing to say. But big up to the legend at Suge, and big up to Stephen Gilchrist, another legend. He says, Arteta will ruin these players, Jez. We have an amazing squad now, thanks to Andrea Berta. But we have an awful manager who is really no manager at all. And I couldn't agree with that anymore, because I look at this squad and I think a proper manager would get us something big this season. Easily get us something big. Imagine the Zidane or something coming in and saying, right, Eze, you're playing in a 10. You do what you can to find Gyökeres. You don't need to track back as much. Saki, you don't need to track back as much. Let's score goals. It'd be a completely different team. But big up to everybody for the super chats, and big up to everybody that's in the chat. Make sure you're slapping the likes, and make sure you are subbing to the panel, because they put in the work and the subs do help the channels to grow. But Lee, you know,
sorry to interrupt you.
You're all right, man.
The most stupid comment I keep hearing from the Arteta fans is, oh, but he's got us competing.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Competing for what?
Mm-hmm.
So we get to a semi-final twice last season and lose both of them.
Mm-hmm.
What's that prove?
1 goal in 4 of those semi-final games, Jez.
Couldn't score.
1 goal in all 4 matches.
Newcastle, home or away.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't score.
1 goal against PSG.
PSG, right? So what are we competing for here? We haven't competed in the FA Cup now for getting on for 5 years. We haven't competed and won a League Cup since when? 93?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I lie.
That's 23.
We against Birmingham City.
We got to the final, all right. Yeah,
we got to the final and stuck with the kids. Fair play. Okay, I'll get that. But He got to a final. This guy, this manager, who's got us competing, got to an FA Cup final with a team that wasn't his.
But just it's a new buzzword that they use, and he spread it at the start. This is what I'm saying. He spreads it. He says competing, and I'm sick of hearing it. I hear it all the time as well. We're competing. This is why I do say it, that these guys have whitewashed our history. They've got rid of the history. They've cut it off at when he came in, and they loved this. He was doing it again in his most recent interview where he's saying, well, I'd look back at where we came from, the chaos and all this sort of stuff. But Emery finished 5th and got to a final in that chaos. Wenger won 3 FA Cups in that chaos. But they painted that it was... They painted like we're a mid-table club until he came in. And we're like a West Ham, no offense to West Ham, and now we're competing for every year, and we should be really grateful for it. That's what they do. And it's all, you know, it's all done on purpose. But Lee, the thing with Eze, right? And I saw you nodding when we were talking about it. I mean, why does he sign players that don't play in certain positions? Some will say it's a bird to sign, and fine, fair enough. But the left wing position, he's been trying to address that since 22-23. He's tried to sign Mudryk when Martinelli was having his best ever season. So he knew then, and this is Aaron's point, and it's a great point. He knew then that Martinelli wasn't it, and he was trying to replace him. So what's taking him so long? Why didn't he sign a striker? Why did he need Bertha to come in? Why does he have to make everybody something they're not? I just don't get it. Is it an arrogance thing, or do you think he's just clueless?
Oh, no, both. He's a clueless ignoramus.
Yeah.
For me, like, I was asking the same question. I was saying, what is this thing he's got with signing players, versatile players? And I said, I'm old school. I said, if I want to sign a left winger, I'll sign a left winger. Centre half, full back. And I was just thinking, why I don't get like a jack of all trades and a master of none? Just sign the player where they play. You've got a right back, you sign a right, you know, Lee Dixon. You know, you want to sign a 10, you sign a Burkham. You want to sign a winger, you sign a Parler or a Merson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, Rocastle. I think Rocastle also played on the wing as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did a lot of the time.
Yeah. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is it's just trying to fit square pegs into round holes. It don't fit always. I get that some players can play in multiple positions for just, you know, temporary. You know, just so you've got to fill in today. He's done his hamstring, or you know, he's twisted his ankle, fill in for a couple of weeks there. Not just to try and be clever and try and outsmart everybody else and trick people, because you come in unstuck. And last season he come unstuck so much. I mean, the players that he's signing, and it's all this big buzzword that AFTV use it a lot. Versatile. Like Robbie says it all the time. Like he just drives me mad as well. The versatility of the squad. This player can play anywhere across the front three. You know, that's just annoying. It just annoys me, and that's why I think we're going wrong. We need to sign the players that it's their natural position. It's their natural position, and I get that sometimes you might use a left-footed winger on the right-hand side and call him an inside forward as he cuts in on the other. But there's, you know, that you can swap over, because sometimes you might need to. You might need to go to the byline and cross the ball in. You can swap over and cut inside. It depends on what fullback you're up against. That I'll get. But when you got, I mean, Eze was the main point. When I see him play. He scored in the cup final, didn't he? He was playing in 10. I think. Yeah. I just can't work it out. I just think Arteta seems to think that he knows better than everybody else.
Oh my God!
He's like a know-all. No.
I'm sorry. Rashford just scored a screamer. I'm sorry. I just looked up.
Is that the third goal, or is that
brace?
the
That's a brace. Nice, a brace. My God, I'm sorry.
He's just like he's a know-it-all. He thinks he's a know-it-all, but he keeps on getting it. But then there's a million excuses for it, isn't it? Yeah. I call him the M&M manager. Like the moments, was it say margins and moments?
Yeah, he loves that one.
Do you know, there's margins and moments and this and that, and God, I just feel like punching his head in, to be fair.
The only problem is that none of the margins, when it comes to the crunch,
they don't
never
question
go for
him.
us.
They don't stick it on him. If you're in that press conference, just like Charlie Watts and all the other,
they're fine. They deny it though. That's the thing. And Normski sent me a clip of the I was mentioned on my show, the Amarin. I don't know if anyone's seen Amarin's press conference after the City game, and the press are just battering him. They're battering him. It's not good enough. Why are you doing this? It's not good enough. And he's just, he looks like he's got the 1,000-yard stare on.
Why don't you do that to Arteta then?
They don't, because they're handpicked. They're handpicked.
Mm-hmm.
Handpicked, man. If they ask a question like that, you don't see them again. You don't see them again.
In the pressers, they're handpicked. And they get told what questions they're allowed to ask. They've got to write.
Yeah.
They ask
they
you
deny it.
You can ask that one. You can't ask that.
Yeah. And if they do, like Gail Davis, you don't see them again. She was moved on after she asked a tough question. You know what I mean? That's the way it goes. Ferguson had a bit of that, where he wouldn't do interviews with the BBC and things like that, but I mean, that was to do with his son and stuff. Yeah, but Karen, I mean, I don't normally use this sort of stuff, but it is comical that Calafiori is in the 10 more than Eze. We all know we never wanted him. We all said to people, calm down. We all said, my big thing was saying to these top gooners, you do realise we're not getting the Crystal Palace Eze. We're getting an Arteta Eze who will be told to hug the touchline and track back. And he literally got told, hug the touchline, word for word, hug the touchline. So your left back can go into the 10. There has to be a touch of narcissism to it, doesn't it? The narcissism to it that he has to sort of prove a point or destroy players because he didn't want them.
That's it. He will not take this L. He will not take this loss. Because remember when he told us he bought Kai Havertz as a midfielder, and when the evidence was so clear he had to move him up front, he moved him back into midfield for the Villa game and lost us the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
He will not take L's. He cannot. So now we talk about versatile players. Why does he love Odegaard so much? Because he's the antithesis of versatile. He takes up resident on the right-hand side of the Emirates like he bought real estate there. He does not move. And I ask every panel that I go on, how many teams in this Premier League doesn't Eze start for? And men might name one and then they're struggling. So he starts for most teams, but he's not good enough for Arsenal. Is Mikel Merino that good in the air, or he provides something defensively that's so good that you have to play him in the midfield? Because going forward, it's not even a conversation between Eze and him or Ethan and him. Yeah. So he just will not take this L, because if Eze came on at Anfield and won us the game, it puts him in a pickle with his captain.
Yeah.
And he will not have that. He only wanted one selection headache max. And when Gyökeres came and said Sesko, that was a selection headache in and of itself, because now he has to bet Havertz. Now, if Eze starts to bang, it gives him two selection headaches. He's the only manager in the Premier League that I think don't want good players. Because any good manager would tell you, give me all the best players and I would figure it out.
What a good headache to have, though. What a good headache to have, where you got that sort of choice.
He doesn't, though. You see, the problem is it's not a choice for him, because he only plays the same 11 all the time.
But I mean, for a normal person, for a normal manager,
For a manager that knows how to coach,
that's exactly what I used to say. I said if a new manager walked in to Arsenal before we got Eze, if a competent manager walked in, he'd go, "Wow, look at this midfield. I have Lewis Skelly, I have Nwaneri, I have Rice." You know what I mean? But with us, he's like, well, Lewis Skelly's a left back, and Nwaneri, I don't trust him. Yeah. Sorry, Taron, you were saying there, mate.
Well, I was saying that I think Eze is so good that even with the Arteta tax, he's still going to perform. Because at some point during 90 minutes of football, Eze is going to get the ball on the half turn at the halfway line,
and ignore.
He's going to look up and look. Whoever is in front of him, he's going to say to himself, "I am better than you, and I'm going past you," and it's going to end up in a big chance. Or it's going to end up in the net. And if it does end up in the net, I want the camera to pan to Arteta to see his reaction. Because his arms better be in the air smiling and screaming, because this you have to maximize Eze's. He gives us nothing going back. That's not what we bought him for. Why are you going to buy Eze, one of the best creative 10s, and try to make him defensive and hug touchlines and track back when he does his damage going forward? Like the Arteta tax, or as Matt calls it, the Arteta tariff, is going to drag us so far down this year that I fear that he might cost us the league. Because here's the thing. I don't blame any of the players for the Liverpool loss. He's already cost us 3 points this season. That was all down to him. So even if, say, in a world where Liverpool goes on to win all their games and get 114 points and goes in an invincible, and we win all our games and finish on 111 points, they will still not blame him for that loss. They will say, oh, Liverpool was unprecedented, even though he lost us that game. Because even if we drew the game and we both finished on 112 points, I think our goal difference would be better than Liverpool's because of our defense. But they will not blame him for that because those tactics were so negative that he played for a damn draw and ended up losing the game. But it would leave it to him to waste a talent like a Eberechi Eze. No other manager would do this.
Did you see the game against Newcastle before? Newcastle Liverpool at St James's Park.
With 10 men, and
with 10 men just having a go at them. I know they lost it. They was 2-0 down, don't forget, and they come back 2-2, and they lost it right in injury time. With 10 men.
Only us. Just quickly, only us and Burnley have not scored a goal against Liverpool. They've conceded in every other game, and those are the only two teams that did not have a goal.
Why didn't we stick it on them? Why didn't we stick it on them like Newcastle did with 10 men? Why don't we try and go at them, pin them back, don't let them out of the half?
But then you see he goes into his press conference and he says it wasn't a defensive formation, and the rest of all the press was go, okay. They don't push him then and say, well, why didn't you start him? Or why didn't you start him? Or don't give me that. It was 3 defensive midfielders and 3 centre backs. But Maddie, I wanted to bring you in because something that's been doing my head in recently is I watched Semiu flip-flop on Madueke from the day we were linked to him all the way through. Oh, on the left it makes sense. Now on the right it makes sense. Then he came out with his recent thing is coming out with an apology. Oh, I got it wrong. And in his own words, he said, he had a really good game against Forest and flashes in the other games, right? So my big fear when we got Madueke was, he's got tricks. Yeah, he'll get you off your feet because, he beats players, but he has no end product. No end product. And I've seen nothing to prove any different that he has an end product. He cuts inside, he slaps it off a defender. He gets to the byline, he doesn't look up, he just dinks it in, hopefully, and maybe someday someone will get on the end of it. He has no end product. And if you go to any league around the world, there's tricky wingers like that are a dime a dozen. You see them in every league. They can beat players. The end product is what moves you up from a Madueke to a Saka or a Yamal or whatever it may be. How can we be already touting this lad as the next Yamal after 1 or 2 games? It makes me furious because he's done nothing to prove my point wrong that he has no end product. I don't know what you feel about it. Has he surprised you or are you still on the fence about him?
I'm gonna do 2 things right quick because I want to get a word in on this Eze deal. I just make it real quick and smooth. If you see Eze on the left, you know something ain't right. If you see Eze on the left, something is not right. So you already know what it is. Just once you see him over there, just go ahead and shut it down. Move on to the next game. On to Madueke because I had a discussion with JB about this earlier. And let me just put it to you this way. When you look at a player like Madueke, the young man I think is 21. Might be wrong, but I think the young man is 21. Youngster. 23. Okay. Yeah, 23. Yeah. Still a youngster. These type players need managers that develop players. Does anybody on this panel, anybody in this chat, and anybody else who's gonna watch this on the replay think that Mikel Arteta is going to get ready to take Madueke to the next level?
No.
There's no proof anywhere in this manager's dossier that shows he's going to take an attacking player. Now, if he was right back, left back, center back, I might say, defense, he seems to be okay. Going forward, Mikel Arteta. Look at our striker. This is why I call our striker no service. Madueke goes forward, defeats the player, gets in the box, and he's lost. Looking around. Isn't that what you're supposed to work on in practice, gentlemen? Isn't that what preseason is for? We're 5 games into the season. Madueke's doing the same thing he was doing at Chelsea. People want some of the guys that come on panels that are Chelsea supporters told everybody that this brother was going to do this. If Wenger was here, I would say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe Wenger will find another layer. I'm sitting here watching Rashford. He's over at Barcelona. Hansi Flick is getting something out of Rashford. That's the difference. When you see a manager like that, they can get the best out of players that supposedly you can't. There's nothing there. This manager gets the worst. He finds the worst And then he magnifies it. This manager, I'm telling you all, this manager, he absolutely takes away from the best of whatever the player has. Look at Eze. We were just talking about Eze. Look at Eze. Eze out there looking like Willian under this manager. This is a brother that just won the FA Cup 4 months ago. 5 months ago. Which was lifting up the Community Shield 3-4 weeks ago. Now he's over here, and you got a geezer over there telling him to hug the touchline. Stay on the left-hand side. Stay on the left-hand side. So if Eze catching hell on the left, what you think would happen with Madueke on the right? And then you got folks, you got these stands, you got these stands that get up early in the morning and do these shows where they want to talk down to their listeners and want to take subliminal shots at folks like us that get on there, and then they spin, and then they'll tell you they didn't want Madueke, but all of a sudden he has 15 minutes of good play, and it's the best thing we've signed in about 30 years. To hell with Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez. This is what I'm talking about here, Madueke. They act like folks don't remember this stuff. We keep a running. We keep a running record over here of foolishness, and we see it on a daily basis. This manager is not getting the best out of this player. You will see flashes of goodness from this gentleman, but then you will see games when you need like Bilbao. We hadn't got to Barcelona, not Barcelona, but Bayern Munich yet. we hadn't touched down with Athletic. You saw Athletic yesterday, by the way. Everybody, he's washed 3-2. We saw that yesterday. Then you saw Inter Milan. You're looking at Barcelona today.
Without Lamar.
You're looking at all these teams here that's coming down the pipe. And you're going to expect this man is going to be expected to help to get us over the line. See, we've been winging it. I've said it. I'll say it again. This team looks almost identical to what I saw last season where we were winging it.
Facts.
On a hope and a prayer. We are 4 or 5 games into the season. Jez, you sat right there with me last year when the season started on Mondays, and we were saying we're winging it. Oh, y'all are just being negative. Y'all just couldn't wait. Y'all are being proven wrong. The manager, he's showing it. We could dig it out of the mud. All this stuff. And then when it finally came crashing down, everybody went, it was this, it was that, it was this, it was this, it was injuries. 5 injuries in 7 days already. And then they're talking about bringing Saliba back for the game Sunday.
Yeah.
He's coming off. We're back to that again. This manager he takes whatever the player's good at, and he sucks out the worst of it. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've been watching sports, just sports in general. I tell you all the time, all the sports we watch in America, I've never seen a manager that is this impotent in my life. Never seen it. I've never seen it. Me coaching against it. When I coached, when I played as a player, when I played the semi-pro, I've never seen anything like this from a manager. And for him to get a player like Eze, knowing this brother's 27, he's played against him, he's seen him, to take this brother and move him to the left when you coached against him and he was in midfield. That tells you all you need to know. So him trying to develop Madueke is about as good as you trying to find snow on a 110-degree day over in the Sahara Desert. Ain't happening.
Facts, man. All facts. But look, we're used to it. We see it. That's why the likes of Igal were coming out with their heat maps, trying to already prove that Eze is meant to be a left winger, because they knew deep down what he'd do. They knew what he'd do. But listen, Lee, the Arsenal Alliance, the legend, thanks so much for giving us your time. I know you have to shoot off. Do you want to shout out your channel for the people in the chat?
Yeah, it's just it's called the Arsenal Alliance, or I've got the handles excuse me, the handles at the Cockney Gooner, it's because I'm from the East End and I'm an Arsenal fan. So, but yeah, I do much the same content as most people on here. I do videos as well though. I do upload short clips from my live streams and stuff like that. So, give us a follow.
Absolutely.
Subscribe if you like the content. You don't have to. You don't want to. But would be nice. But thanks,
absolutely. Make sure everybody in the chat goes over and gives a sub. I'm sure everybody on the panel will go over and show some love for Lee. He's over there doing real things. And big up, man. Thanks so much for coming on. I will have to do it again sometime.
I'm subscribed to all of you already, by the way.
I've subscribed to you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, brother.
See you later, mate. Have a good one.
I've just subscribed to you.
There you go.
Thank you.
All love over here. There is Lee's channel. Make sure you go over and click the subscribe button. And do it for all the people on the panel. They're all pinned thanks to the wonderful Vigilante. And make sure that you get your channels in the chat as well. And people should be subbing to you as well. You're out there doing real things. But Normski, your opinions here on the Madueke and the Eze thing while we're here. I mean, but the Madueke thing. Yeah, again, he's done nothing to prove me wrong. These guys love it, but all these top gooners love GA and up all the time. He has no GA. Now it's not about that. And with Eze, he's just wasted, isn't he?
Yeah, but listen, it was interesting in the summer when it was talked about us getting this player, and everybody, especially a lot of the top gooners, were scratching their heads. Harry Simeon, for one of them, I was like, I don't understand this. How we're going for this player? Why are we buying this player when we should really be going for this player? So there was a lot of confusion in the fan base concerning Madueke and the price tag that he has. The fact that we was linked with Eze, we needed a left winger, and we was told that if we end up getting Madueke, we're going to miss out on getting a left winger or even miss out on Eze. Well, obviously the Eze deals happened, but the way they're going on with Madueke, yes, he had a good game against Nottingham Forest, but it's that whole thing of, his end product. Yeah, he gets past his player, but every time he gets past his player, I need to see end product. I need to see that ball get into the feet of either Gokrez or anybody that's making that late run into the box.
Right.
That's just a fact. He has no end product, and as Matty said, and whoever BBK said, he's doing exactly the same thing he did when he was playing for Chelsea. Exactly the same thing. See, the thing is now that he's wearing an Arsenal shirt, yes, we've got to get behind our players and that, but let's see a bit of GA. Let's press down on the brakes, as you said, Shane, or let's pull up on the old reins and just let's calm ourselves down. Yeah, because everybody's into this GA or whatever. If he adds goals or assists to his games, which leads to goals, then fair play. But we only seen a small sample of him. Yes, right. What he did for Chelsea, nobody was impressed with him. Nobody ever thought that. When the name came up, no one we was never linked with him. And all of a sudden, we was linked with him, and then all of a sudden, people were scratching their heads and saying, "Why are we going for this guy?" We saw your favourite fan, Igal, right, screaming his eyeballs out about this whole thing. Now he's the best thing since sliced bread. We just need to calm down on this guy. He came in, he was brought in to play on the left-hand side. Obviously, they're saying that he's Saka's backup. Obviously, he's now to play for Saka. And for the time that he's been at, he's a good backup player, but he's not going to give you the end product like you would get from Saka. Yeah, Saka won't go down the byline and cross it. He's a guy that's going to cut in on his left foot and try and score. So that's why Saka is obviously levels above him. But even some people are trying to say that Madueke is now better than him, or comparing him to Lamau and all that. Yeah, he's nowhere near that. Let's look at 10, 15 games in, when the games are coming thick and fast. Let's see what he's got. What he's got in his locker. And then the whole essay thing of him playing out on the left arm, I feel sorry for him. He was so isolated in that game against Atletico Bilbao, literally just out of the wing, and you said you see Arteta berating him to come out and hug the touch line, and in the end he just looked like a fish out of water. Do you know what I mean? He's a good player, but as you said, you're gonna suck. Mate, you're sucking the talent out of this guy. Play where he's meant to play. We've seen him. We played against him when he's played in the 10. He scored against us. Why not just do it? The thing about Arteta, he just wants to be always proved right. Mm-hmm. That's right. He just wants to be always proved right. He'd rather, do the easy, safe, and wrong thing in terms of picking a side. And so we know what's going to happen on Saturday. It looks like SA is going to end up getting dropped. The fact that Martinelli's come and scored a goal, so I think we're going to end up with Martinelli playing on the left, and we're probably going to go with our three freezers in the middle. Do you know what I mean? We have to be brave enough to take the games to Man City. Listen, Ireland, is finding shooters boots. Doku is going to be a bit of a problem. So listen, let's not take them lightly. I did predict. I did predict 2-1. I did predict 2-1 to us. Now I'm starting to look and think, depending on who he starts, that prediction could change. So I need to see what the prediction is on the day. But we have to be brave enough. But this manager's not brave. He doesn't like taking risks. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He'd rather play it safe. And if we can get out of that game and draw, even the Atletico Bilbao game, I think if he didn't bring those guys, and I think we would have played out a draw. But
I think he was trying to play for a draw by bringing them on, though. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and listen, we get too lucky. Well, I say too lucky. It was, two good breaks. We hit them on the break. We scored the 2 goals, and everybody would look at it and go, "Yeah, Arteta is a genius." You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it was easy for him to pull Gokarez. It was easy for him to pull Eze, and that's the problem. At the moment, these players are coming in. And I'm not saying they're looking a shadow of themselves, but Arteta could make them look like a shadow of themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's it. Like he is the sport maker, as View says, and he will play. I'm nearly certain that, as Bing says, he'll go with the same. If Odegaard and Saliba aren't fit, I think he'll go with the same team except Eze out and Martinelli in. I think he can't wait. He can't wait to pull him out of the team. And as people were saying there. As Taron said, he will have moments. Eze will have a moment where he cuts inside and he slaps one in the top corner against someone, and all the top gooners go, "See, I told you." He's just getting used to the left wing, but he's just that good that he'll have moments. But I wanted to sort of flip it a bit because Big Jez in here. There's something that's been doing my head in, man, and it's all these top gooners when you're out there in the Matrix in the internet world and X and stuff like that. They're so obsessed with Liverpool, right? And again, we shouldn't be. After 6.5 years, and 1.2, 1.3 billion, whatever it is, we shouldn't be going into a season worrying about Liverpool. They should be worrying about us, right? We should be saying we're going to win the league this season, and anything less isn't good enough. But the new narrative is now their luck is going to run out, right? Because they keep winning games in the last minute. They have been in second gear, maximum second gear. And when Atletico Madrid scored and made it 2-2, I was watching Dan Potts. He put a bet on Liverpool to win it because he knew they would, right? I was watching it with my missus. She's football mad. She goes, "Liverpool are going to score." I said, "Yeah, they will. They're champions. That's what champions do. They score." Man United in the 90s did it. They always scored in injury time. When they needed a goal, they did it. It was a bit different then. Obviously, they got a bit more Fergie time, but they still did it, right? They did it. Arsenal did it. We did it under Wenger. We'd always get that goal. You always knew we were going to score. My favourite game, I did a great show with Jez where he picked our favourite moments. And my favourite Arsenal game is the 5-3 against Middlesbrough when they went 3-1 up and you still knew we were going to win. Amazingly, you knew we were going to win, even though we went 3-1 down, right? You just knew it. You knew we'd win. But good teams do it. City did it. Chelsea did it under Mourinho. This idea, Jez, that Liverpool are lucky. If you keep scoring goals in injury time, they've all been fair goals, by the way, and they've all been in the allotted time. They've done nothing wrong. That was a penalty against Burnley. They pushed them. They had 20-something shots. It wasn't like they didn't have, like us having 2 shots on target. But, Jez, once a big team, it stops being luck after a while and it becomes a pattern. It becomes, this is what we do because we're champions. What the difference is in the Newcastle game when Liverpool went 2-2, Arteta would have locked up. He would have brought on a defender and said, "No, they're getting the upper hand. Let's take the draw." He would have done the same against Atletico Madrid when they pulled 2 back and they were in the ascendancy. He would have said, "Right, I'm going to lock up." So he probably would have got the draw. Slot brings on a 17-year-old and says, "Go out there and change the game, mate." So, I mean, this idea that because Liverpool are getting lucky, I don't believe in luck for one thing, but I mean, what do you think it is when the excuses are already being made? Is it's just loser mentality, isn't it?
Well, Henri summed it up, didn't he?
Yep.
Foot forward and you win. You've got to have direction. And that was a direct comment towards Arteta. Let's get that right. Now, the fact that people say, "Oh, I've seen the comments, Liverpool got lucky." Well, didn't we when we became invincibles?
Yeah.
We got lucky in a lot of games to scrape a draw. Portsmouth away. A penalty that we got. It wasn't a penalty.
Man United game.
There.
Yeah.
I was at the game. I said, that's never a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people with
we'll
me,
take it. We'll take it.
Mm.
yeah, it wasn't. I mean, we got the penalty, walked out of there with a draw. Now, if we hadn't have got that penalty, we wouldn't have been invincible. We were shit that day against Portsmouth. And the fact remains that sometimes you have to be lucky to be champions. We did it with George Graham, right? We walked out the year we nearly went unbeaten, right? We were unlucky, you can say, against Chelsea. But the fact remains that's life. I'm not going to sit there and cry about it that Liverpool got lucky against Burnley because they got a last knockings penalty. That's what champions do. They don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you've just been saying. That game, if that had been Arsenal against Newcastle, he would have brought on his defensive setup, gone all defensive. Yep. He wouldn't have gone for the win because he's not ambitious enough. He sets his teams up to not to lose.
Yeah.
He doesn't set the teams up to go out and take a team apart. I said on that game the other night against Bilbao, right? What we've got to do is go intensive and go hard and fast. Put them in the back foot. They don't like that because I'm not. Look, I don't sit there and watch the La Liga and all that shit week in, week out. I'm going off the speak of people like Steve, who does watch all these teams. And I always listen to Steve Strasberg. I always take what he says as fact because he knows, he watches them. Lee does. So I'll take what Lee says. And Lee said that he's watched them about 30 times in the last 2 years. So he knows, I don't. And Lee said, you've got to go with intensity, put them on the back foot and you'll kill them. Did we in the first half? No, we didn't. We let them come to us. And then we bored them to death and caught them in the second half. But that you don't win the Premier League like that.
Nope.
Teams like Man City on this Sunday coming, right? 4:30 kickoff. We've got to go 100 mile an hour straight at them, put them in the back foot, knock them out their confidence zone, get an early goal. But the only problem is there, guys, we get an early goal. You know,
we sit back. We'll sit back.
Sit back for the whole game.
It will sit back and they will let Man City come to us.
Yeah,
and then when you've got Haaland, right, coming at you with the way he is at the moment, I believe he scored again tonight.
Yeah.
So, you know, his confidence is up. He wasn't the best last season. Let's be honest. He wasn't at his best. He's getting back to that sort of situation.
Yeah.
So, all this bullshit I hear, oh, Liverpool are lucky. Liverpool done this. Oh, they got that. Well, let's be fair. That Burnley, that was a clear penalty.
It was like
clear penalty. The guy stuck his arm out. Lucky he didn't get a red card for that. Blatant handball. It's intentional handball, and in the true letter of the law, all right, it didn't prevent a goal, but it did prevent a goal scoring opportunity in the letter of the law. So potentially he could have got a red card for that. But it wasn't in the centre of the box. I think the referee said, no, you know, I'll give a straight pen. But at the end of the day, come on, Arteta is basically a coward.
Yeah.
He will not go out all out and kill teams. And it'll be interesting on, is it Tuesday night, Wednesday night? What night are we playing Port Vale?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday. 24th.
Yeah. Be interesting, that game. Interesting. I'll be very interested to see what team he puts out there. I think he'll totally disrespect it. I mean, we should beat Port Vale come what may, but I don't know. I'm not overly convinced with this manager. But this is the problem we've got with him. He's a coward.
Yeah.
And I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, well, cowards don't win anything. And Jez made a wonderful point there. Taron, and it was something that I was trying to get at, but I'm stumbling around. I look at the way we played against Bilbao, right? And Jez said it, that if we had gone at them, as Lee said, they don't like pressure, take them early, you smash them, right? You torch them. But we didn't. We went defensive. We went with the 3 bricks in midfield and the four defensive players. And we were going to settle for a draw. He brought on, let's have it right, Martinelli's a defensive winger, and he brought on a false 9 to drop into the middle. It worked in the end. Again, it's something to me he stumbled on. Maybe he was going for the counter-attack. Whatever the case may be, we got the win. To me, that's lucky, not having shots on target all game. The game against United, we had 2 shots on target. We win 1-0. They have 20-something shots. Right, so that's lucky. Winning that is lucky.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Being Liverpool. Yeah, go ahead, Jez.
No, sorry to interrupt you. I think this sums it up, my final comment on that part of what you asked me. Would you want to go into war with Arteta at your back?
No.
He'd run and hide.
Yeah.
If you're walking across out the trenches, right? I know it's an old analogy, right? You're walking out the trenches across facing enemy fire. Would you want him there supporting you?
No.
I'd rather
he'd use you as a shield, Jez.
I love that. I love that, Jez.
I'd rather have any one of you boys behind me, especially you, mate, because you've been there and done it. You know what I'm
Absolutely
saying?
Love that analogy. I swear. I try not to interject military slang into, because I look through different lens in it, because I have led 17 and 18-year-olds into combat. So when I see them, these kids, you can't play him. Bro, it's football. You put them out there. Confidence, that's something you can get back. You have your entire playing career to get back if you take a knock on your confidence because you go out there and have a bad game as a young kid. But yeah, Jez, I absolutely love that analogy. But yeah, we'll go back to you.
Arteta ain't one of big games.
Hey, I wouldn't. Y'all talk about going to the battlefield. I wouldn't even take him to the mailbox with me.
Like Danny says, use Arteta as a human shield. He would. He'd put a bayonet in your back and then lie underneath you until everything's gone. Man. That's what he'd do. He would put the bayonet right in your back and then he'd play dead underneath you until everybody's gone. Because that's what he does. He literally throws people under the bus. But big up to the legend that's Danny and big up to Razor and everybody else. But Darren, well, like that whole thing about luck. If you pepper someone's goal for the whole game and you go out to win and you throw everything at the other team and you get to win in the end, to me that's not lucky. That's just you got what you went for. People saying that Liverpool are being lucky, luck will run out. Again, I'll reiterate, I don't believe in luck. I just think you make your own luck. If there is such a thing, you make your own luck. But I look at Liverpool and I go, Isak's only played 60 minutes. He's the striker that we were getting told the whole time that if we get him, we win a lot. You know, he's the best striker in the world and all that sort of stuff. So he's barely played. Salah's only sort of had his first really good game against Atletico. We know what he's going to do. It's Salah. Let's get it right. Kanate will get his head together at some point. Kirkens is still getting used to it. Frimpong's missed most of the season. He came in, he looked good the other day. McAllister's only getting back to full fitness. So they're only in sort of second gear. So I think that they have a few gears to go. Under our tactics, I think this is the best we can do under those restrictive tactics because Eze can only do so much when he's being told to hug the touchline. Gyökeres can do so much when he's not getting the ball. You know what I mean? Wanyeri can only do so much when he's sitting on the fucking bench.
Can I just say something? Just a minute. It's all, what you just said there, Shane, is basically Arteta has just left us in second gear, and that's it. He can't. That's it. You sink that clutch, he won't come out of second gear. That's it. He won't. You know, you get those cards.
Because he is just the Ford Fiesta, though, so we can't get past. But that's what I mean. That's the point I'm making because of his tactics, we're just a shit car. So we're flooring it under this car. This is the highest speed we can get under this car. If we had another manager, we'd be stepping into a Testarossa or something like that, and then we could floor it and go. But with this guy, because of his tactics, there's only so much we can do. But this thing about luck, Aaron, do you buy into it in sports? Do you think it evens itself out, or what's the story?
No, so we always say that luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Right, so Liverpool were preparing to win that game. They were trying to win that game. So when the opportunity presents itself, bang, you're there. You know, you have 27 shots, like 10 of them on target, 80% possession. You're actively trying to win the game against Burnley, against Atletico. Mo Salah was doing his best Darwin Núñez impression where he would score the hard goal and miss the easy one. He was abusing the post like a hillbilly on his wife. You know, he was just like all over the place. But the thing is, right, when we look at our performance versus Bilbao, Like, I don't want to shock you, man, with stats, because I know we don't do the whole stat merchants thing. But David Raya had more touches of the ball than Eze. David Raya touched the ball 53 times against Bilbao. Eze touched the ball 40 times. At any point during our reign, when we were actually good, our once great club, will we ever see Lehman having more touches of the ball than Bergkamp or Thierry Henry? So how is Eze having 40 touches and David Raya having 43 touches of the ball? Muscari had 93 touches, the most all game. That should never happen. I don't buy the idea that Liverpool are getting lucky. If it was lucky, would have ran out by now, because they've been doing this go back all the way to last season, winning games late. I remember the Brentford game; they were down 2-1. Trent come on. Nunes comes on and scores a brace. So they've been doing this for a long, long time. The Arteta tax, right? This is the thing with me and Arteta, right? People call him stubborn all the time. I think we're going to have to start treating stubbornness with the same level or the same energy that we treat respect. Like, you're going to have to earn the right to be stubborn. You can't just be stubborn to be stubborn, right? When Mourinho came into the league, he won the league on top of the head tops of Wenger and Fergie. Did a back-to-back on their head top. So, and he was coming in as a Champions League winner. So he could be stubborn. But when we got him and Amarim and all these men coming, I will not change. You won 8 Premier League games talking about you will not change. Now, where does this stubbornness come from? This is something that you're going to have to start earning. We just can't just give him a pass and be like, okay, he is stubborn, he's stuck in his ways. Like, at some point, the standards of the football club must be kept. Wenger was able to stay in the job so damn long because at least the football was decent to watch, right? That 24 goal against Norwich? That probably will go down as one of the best Premier League goals of all time. Team goals. Yes. Right, the goal that Ozil scored against Ludogorets, they make animations of this shit. So we weren't winning anything, but the football was beautiful to watch. But now we're not winning anything, and the football is terrible to watch. The manager has the answer for that. I don't want to hear shit about him being stubborn. It's jarring now. It's jarring. But the thing is, I'm glad that he has Eze. I'm glad that he has Gyökeres, because these guys are going to do one or two things that's going to make us happy. Is he going to go win him a trophy, win us a trophy, or get him sacked? Because it's going to expose him for the manager that he is.
Facts. And I like that. I like that thing about stubbornness, because that is what Amarin is stubborn. How can you be stubborn, mate? You're the worst manager I've ever seen, and you're stubborn. You know what I mean? Like it is that. That's when it does start to drift into narcissism territory. When you're stubborn for no other reason. And my mum would call it pig ignorant. That's what she'd say. They're pig ignorant. They just insist on doing something. You know what I mean? I live in the country here, and there's certain farmers that will, because the country roads are thin, and they'll take their tractor out on like a bank holiday Monday just to hold up traffic. You know what I mean? So they're doing it. They're doing it on purpose when they're getting a kick out of it. But Matty, you coach, mate, right? You know how it goes with getting the team motivated and stuff like that. For me, I used to the only thing that I can sort of put it to is that we used to have a pool team where we play pool, and I had to pick the team and who went out and who played what match. And if we were on the way back after a loss and anyone moaned about luck, I'd flip out, because you had your chance to finish him. You missed your shot. He came in. Yes, he meant to pot the black in the other pocket, and it jangled and went into the other one. But you should have finished them before that. You had a chance to finish them, so it was in your hands. So I don't want to hear about luck. For these top gooners to be coming out and already making excuses, Liverpool, and look at this decision, and here's a thread where you can put up all the times Liverpool got away with this. That's loser talk to me. You're already going to lose if you're going in with that attitude. How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, me and you talked about this going into the Liverpool game. I distinctly said we should be going there to win the game, because it's the first game of the first major test of the season. And you should be going there with all intensive purposes to come home with 3 points and lay down a marker. But no, you went there with 9 defenders, 3 midfielders, 4 at the back, and two wing players playing defense. And then you turn around here, and then everybody wants to say, "Oh well, Liverpool's getting lucky. They're skating by. They've been doing this for the longest. They 10 men Liverpool last year beat a year before last beat Newcastle.
Yeah,
this year." Up 2, tied, come and walk away with a win last night. They're used to this. It's like I asked JB earlier. What has anybody heard? I've been looking around all day. Has anybody heard anything about 115 charges? Has anybody heard anything about 115 charges yet? If we lose this game this weekend, 115 charges are brought.
Oh,
They'll reach
everywhere.
out the draw and they'll pull it out.
Everywhere.
Find it.
Yeah.
Our fan base relishes in excuses.
Yeah.
We can go back to 22-23. You had 2 chances to beat City there. You had a chance. Aston Villa, West Ham, 10 men full. All these years, we've had time and time to do what we need to get done. Year before last, you begging for Spurs to win a game for you.
Mm-hmm.
We should have started this season with 1-0 against Liverpool right out the gate to set down a marker, to change the atmosphere, the attitude around the football club. And instead, this manager has shown time and time again that he will find a way to find a new excuse, new language. This is why he's out here talking about finishers and stuff. This is something new to lean on. Finishers. You know what I would have asked him? If I was in there, as soon as he said something about finishers, I would have said, well, why didn't we finish last year? Why didn't we finish the year before that? Why can we finish in 21-22? What was the finishing that then? Now all of a sudden you got finishers. This is rhetoric to distract you from what's going on. This is, we used to call this when you throw the dog, feel like you're throwing something to the dog turn around, he going, you hit it.
Yeah. Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
This is exactly what this brother, he's a master of this. He is a master of the sleight of hand. He wants to take all, in his fan base, they lock whatever he says, it comes down and it's magnified tenfold. They take it and they run with it. He hands the baton to Simeon and the boys, and they're coming around the corner, handing it off to the next person. And then Ken gets it. And then after Ken gets it, you take it, and then he passes it. And then here come Miguel coming up the front end. And here come Christian. Here come D. They take it, they run with it. 1, 2, 3, all the way around the track. They take it and run with it. It's just like just like old Jamaica. You'll never catch them. You'll never catch them. That is our fan base. Our fan base, they relish in excuses. They love it. When there should be no excuses this year. We spent $1.3 billion. We brought in 8 players. The talk should be our cup run starts next week. That's what it should be. And I'm gonna go on record, and I say it right here. Y'all can document it. You can keep it. Folks be talking about, this manager needs to win a major trophy. Let me tell you, he needs to win a double this year after spending $1 billion. We need to be talking about multiple trophies this year. 1.3 billion, and y'all up here talking about Liverpool. We got bigger fish to fry starting next Tuesday, because that is the first realistic trophy we can win. Start is Port Vale next week. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't hear no more excuses from this fan base, because the players are here. Berta has went out there and bought the play. He has went to the grocery store. Has bought what was on the list. The players are here. The manager said we were unlucky. All this. And if I had this, and I've done so much with that, and anybody else, this is all-time great stuff, guys. Well, you got it. This fan base don't need to be looking at what Liverpool doing. We need to be concerned about what we doing, because we've got 2 massive games. We got 6 points we need to be getting in the next few weeks. We got City coming up. We got Newcastle right behind them. And I'm telling you now, I've just watched Newcastle. We all seen watching Newcastle go toe-to-toe with old Barcelona over there. Yeah, they didn't have a few players, but they going toe-to-toe. So if they going toe-to-toe with Barcelona, you know what's coming. It's coming our way when we go up there. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If we don't win this game, because everybody people sat here, gentlemen, all summer taking the piss at Man City. Man City fell off. They fell off. That's no good. No, they're done. They're done. They're hanging on for dear life. They don't have this. They don't have that. Well, cool. That's fine. We should be beating them 4-5 nothing on Sunday. By y'all rubric, we should be beating them, because that means that we have what's needed. Okay, cool. But we know who's still driving the bus, brothers. The bus, you can have a Cadillac, you can have a Bentley, you can have a Mercedes, you can have a Porsche, you can have a Cayman, you can have a GT, you can have whatever you want to have. If you don't have the right driver of the vehicle, it's destined to crash. And this manager is still driving the bus. All I can tell you to do is put on your seatbelt,
buckle up,
get your oxygen mask if you got one,
put your head between your legs,
and get ready for a ride, because this manager is getting ready to take us down the highway to hell. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I always compare him to, if you've seen the first Toy Story movie. He's Sid, the brat kid next door. He gets all the new toys and he takes them apart and sticks them back together with the wrong arms and the wrong heads, and he makes these monstrosities out of them by changing the positions and stuff like that. But big up to the chat. There's over 130 of you in the building. Make sure you're slapping the likes up, and make sure that you are subbing to everybody on the panel, including the Arsenal Alliance. He might not be here, but he was here earlier and he was spitting facts. So make sure that you sub to everybody on the panel and get those likes climbing up, you absolute legends. But Norms, listen, you're an old school man like me, right? You have old school beliefs. I'd be proud to say that I know you quite well. We talk on the phone and stuff like that. And I think it's why I get along with you, because you have old school beliefs. So you're probably of the same. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but of the same as me, that you get back what you put in, right, in life. You get back what you put in. If you go out and you do good things will happen for you. And if you're a nasty person, it will come back on you. But same when it goes to actual physical work, when you go and you do a good job, you'll get that promotion because you did a better job than everybody else. You just put the work.
Stop banging, please.
You're all right.
My son's banging. What's up?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So luck doesn't come into it. You put in the work, you get the results. So does it get to you, or does it bother you, or does it annoy you when you see the constant excuses? And do you feel the same as the rest of us, that if you're making excuses already, you're just setting yourself up to fail, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, it's tired of it. That's the thing. When Matty was sort of talking, the first thing I was thinking, fantastic, monologue there. But the big C word, context. That's what these guys like to throw at you. Yeah, so they will spout it out about saying, "Oh, we need to win this major. We've got to do this and whatever." Then when you hold them to account and say, "Right, what we're saying, okay, we've now come to the end of the season. We've not won this one. No. Oh well, we have to look at the context. The context is finished now. There's no context now. You've had the money. You've been given the resources. You've been given the tools. Yeah, we've been crying for all of these players. Yeah, you've given the tools. Now you need to learn how to use these tools." Yeah, at the moment, he's a lot of the tools that he's using, he's making them blunt. Yeah, he's making them blunt. So it's the same old thing. People can't even get round to, if you're given a scenario of Arteta not being at the club, they just can't accept it. They can't accept that this guy is going to move on one day. No, he'll never go. He'll never go. It's the hope that kills. It's the hope that kills us there, and they will constantly give you excuse after excuse after excuse, and I'm tired of we've been hearing it for the last 6 years. Okay, 3 years, second place. What now? Where do we go from here now? Right, you've got the money now. I don't want to hear anything. At the end of the season, I want to see us lifting a trophy. If you haven't lifted a trophy, please take your P45 and your 15.6 million. See you later.
It's the hope. It's that hope. They're dealing that hope.
Yeah, giving the hope, and it's false hope. That's the big issue. That's the big issue. Before we get into the predictions for the City game, I just wanted to pull this up because this boiled my blood. And again, you do have to sort of read into what he says, because we know what he's like. We know how manipulative he is. We know how they paint the narrative that this club was absolute bollocks before he came. But this is what he said about transfers. We're very lucky players want to come to Arsenal now. Now they want to come to us, right? And they prefer to go to Arsenal than somewhere else. And this is an unbelievable power as well that we have built, by the way, and gives us the very best chance. The fucking arrogance of this guy to claim that now big players want to come to us. Jezza, Bergkamp came to us when we were finishing in 7th, 8th place and Bruce Rioch was manager. He came because of Arsenal. He came because of the Marble Halls. He came because we're a big club. Ian Wright came to us. players have always come to Arsenal. Arsenal are a big club, a big club. In fact, if he wants to talk about big clubs, if Chelsea win 2 trophies this year and we don't win any, we are no longer the 3rd most successful team in England. We're no longer the most successful team in London. That will be his legacy, that he lost a 100-year record. People will look at that and go, "Oh, it's just a language barrier. He didn't mean it that way." He doubled down on it. He put that "now" in on purpose. That is another way that he paints. Oh, we were in absolute turmoil when I came, and Arsenal were just a small club, and now we're a big club. Now we're in the Champions League. He goes on about 3 years in a row in the Champions League. Let's remember that Wenger was 20-odd years in a row in the Champions League. Imagine this guy doing that. And Wenger got slated for it, Jez. Wenger got slated for this is all he does is get us into the Champions League. This guy talks about it like it's the biggest achievement in the world. Jez, you've been around around a long time as an Arsenal fan. Arsenal have always been a big club, long before this guy. Long before this guy. In fact, we were a bigger club because now we celebrate 2nd. I mean, this sort of stuff just enrages me. I don't know how you feel about it, mate.
Well, let's put it into fact. These players haven't come because of Arteta.
Yep.
they've come because of Berta.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Madueke, he's trebled his wages coming to Arsenal.
Yep.
So that's the big attraction. This manager doesn't attract anything, right? He's a narcissistic, arrogant prick. And these players will learn. They will learn. They'll be sitting this time next season, right? If this guy's still here, they'll be thinking, "Oh, fucked up coming here."
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now, there's going to be a few young players, right, from the academy who are going to be looking to get out of this club this time next year. They're going to be talking, if not, no, I wouldn't say already, but the likes of Nweri, who he gave game time to and then benched him, right? You've got one for the future, Max Dowman, Lewis Skelly. This time next year, if this clown is still here and they haven't got what they were expecting, they're going to be looking to get out that door. They'll be speaking to their parents and say, "I want out, Mum, Dad, whoever. I want out of here. Get my agent on the phone. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to be appreciated, somewhere I'm going to get first team football, somewhere I'm going to get the respect I deserve." And I agree with that. I would not have a problem with that. They're young men who want to make their football career.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore they've got ambition. They want to play big game football. Eze has come to Arsenal because it's his starting football club. He was an academy youth. 7 years of age was he when he signed for Arsenal?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Young kid. Gets signed by Arsenal. Lifelong dream. Arsenal fan. We then went in for him. Brought him to the club. Took him from Tottenham. That was always going to happen if we went in for him properly and we got him. Will he be thinking the same thing at the end of the season when we've capitulated again after he's just won an FA Cup and a Community Shield and he wins fuck all at Arsenal again? He's going to be thinking, "Well, maybe I made the wrong move here." All right, it's local for him. He hasn't had to really move too far from Crystal Palace to play at the Emirates. So he's probably settled at home with his partner, girlfriend, whoever, and thinking, "I want a big thing here." But it won't last long when he suddenly realises, "I'm going to be playing on that left wing all season. And I will be kicked out because you will want to play Martinelli over me or Havertz." So that's pure and utter bullshit from that manager. That is Arteta bigging himself up, making out to be, I'm the big man now. Look at what I've done. Look at who I've brought in. No, you didn't. It was Berta that did that work, not you.
Mm-hmm.
And two of those players, Mr. Arteta, you didn't even bloody want. You wanted Sesko. That's who you wanted.
Yeah.
And you've now got Gyökeres, in my opinion, is far better.
Mm-hmm.
But I will just final comment here. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I would not be at all surprised if you've got Berta backstage just waiting, right? And he's sitting there like a spider in a web thinking, I'm going to give you enough rope, my friend. I'm not going to let you hang yourself. I reckon you'll find quite quickly, if Arteta went, he'll have another manager in within 10 days. I reckon the conversations have already taken place. And he knows who he's going to bring in. Because at the end of the day, Berta is going to hang him. Not physically, but you know, not physically. And I'll tell you what, Josh Kroenke, I reckon, is out also. He made a statement, it's time to win trophies.
Yep.
So the pressure is on here now.
Yep.
And I'll leave
no more get along gang, Jez. No more get along gang. That's what I said it the other week, that this could all turn very, very sour very, very quickly. If we lose 2 in a row in the league, like to say City and Newcastle, everything changes. Everything. If we go 6-7 points behind Liverpool, the pressure gets immense on this guy, and we know what he's like under pressure. He's not very good, but we will. Sorry, Jez, go on.
I'll keep in. I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're okay, man. That's what it's all about.
To you tonight. I do apologise. Fact is this: Josh Kroenke has been at every game so far this season.
Cheers, what a hell of a stuff. Totally hadn't even noticed it.
That hasn't happened before. He's watching.
Nope. He's been at every game, yeah. Every game.
I hadn't even caught it.
Yeah, no, he's been at every game, and that's what and now he's got someone. You see, he's got someone. He was getting bamboozled by Arteta. We know he was getting bamboozled by Arteta. Now he's got Berta, and he can go to him. So what did he mean by that? And Berta will go, he's talking bollocks. Oh, okay. Josh, he's got his what did the mafia call it? Consigliere, isn't it? The guy next to him that will. Yeah. He's got his consigliere now beside him, and he and that's not a thing about Italians. It's just a term to use. That he's got someone now that will go. What did he tell you before? No, that's a load of bollocks. He shouldn't be playing him there. No, that's not where he's made to play. He shouldn't be playing SA on the wing. Why is he playing him there? And he's at every single game, and the pressure is on, man. The pressure is absolutely on this guy.
I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah, every game, away games and everything.
Hey, Terry, that's during the NFL. Just that you.
Hey.
What did that tell you right there? What I told you?
Mm-hmm.
I told you.
Yep, Sean McVay knows all about that. Yeah,
great to give it to him in football terms. He's got him to give it to him in soccer terms, whatever way you want to put it. No. Yeah. Don't let Arteta tell you that Eze should be playing there. He should be playing here. If he plays there, that's what I bought him for. Oh, okay. So now he's getting the pressure on him. But this is the team I put up the night before the Forest game. Mm-hmm. Or sorry, the European game. I knew what team he'd pick. I think that this will be the team against City. Depending again, if Odegaard's fit, he'll play over Marino, and if Saliba's fit, he'll probably play him over Mosquera. But if as it stands, I think it'll be this with Eze out and Martinelli in. If we line up like that, for me, against City, that is telling, like we did against Liverpool, telling the league we're cowards, really. We're just cowards. Like we're not going to try and scrape a win. We're never going to really go toe-to-toe with you. We're too afraid. It looks brave. We're going to keep a clean sheet. No, it's cowardly. But, Jez, you were saying earlier that you had it for a 2-1. Do you feel like you'll change on that as the week goes on, or do you think we'll scrape a win against? Oh, you had a 2-2, didn't you? You had a 2-2. Do you still feel it'll be 2-2, or has anything changed with you now that Haaland's banging again and Doku's looking decent and 2 clean sheets for City as well? By the way, with Donnarumma and nets.
Yeah, at this point in time, I'm sticking with my 2-2, and I'll give you the reason why. Okay, I think Arteta will be defensive. But I think Man City can also leak goals. If Gyökeres as a play, I'm not sure as a may, but I think he should, then I reckon it'll be a negative game. It'll be a 2-2, or it's going to be a complete opposite. Arteta will go ultra bloody defensive, and we'll get absolutely arse whipped by Man City 3-0.
That would have to be the end of him, surely. That would have to be the end of him. Taryn, you always bring positivity, and I do wind you up, but I need it because when you give it, it's not false hope, because I know you've sat there and you've thought it out and you've said, right, this is what I feel. You're not just any gal or someone who's throwing the most ridiculous Arsenal prediction at me. So what do you feel for Sunday? Do you see that team that I put up? Do you think Eze will get dropped? Do you think if Saliba's fit, he comes back in?
Yeah, I think he brings Saliba back in, and I think he brings Saliba back in for this reason. Against Port Vale, I think he is going to do an ultimate flex with the squad depth and rotate everybody. I think for the Port Vale game, I think the back five will be Kepa, Benjamin White, Mosquera, Nkapia, and Skelly. For that reason, he's going to give Mosquera a rest, and I think he's going to bring Saliba back in, which is calm. I'm completely calm with the Saliba and Gabriel partnership. But this is where we are, where I have to make a prediction now, and then an hour before the game, I may have to change it based on what he decides to do. Because if he drops Eze, we don't win. I'm not saying we will lose, but I don't think we win. And it's like a question now: is this 3DM thing his blueprint for whenever we go away or play a tough game away to Liverpool?
Yeah, I think it is.
Because it seems like a pattern here. And if that's the pattern, and Pep knows that he's going to do that, then Pep is preparing for that right now. Yeah. And if it comes down to a tactical battle between him and Pep, there's only one winner there, every single time. So with that lineup, I think Saliba comes in. If Eze gets dropped, we don't win the game. I think if Eze starts, or if he brings Odegaard back in, I'm not filled with confidence either. But yeah, I don't think we win this one. I'm going for a 1-1.
But the thing now that I'm starting to realize with Odegaard is that it's basically three defensive midfielders anyway when he plays. Really, you know what I mean? He doesn't offer anything going forward. He's the same sort of Marino fridge. He just turns, and the only difference is before he passes it sideways, he does a little spin or something. But the end result is still a sideways pass.
Yeah.
And I said it in the Liverpool game. I said if we're drawing with 10, 15 minutes left, we'll lose because of in-game management. Slots in-game management is top class. Arteta's a shit, and it proved to be the case. I feel the same in this one. I feel that if it's a bit of a back and forth, or I can see it being a game where there's one shot each on target going into injury time. You know what I mean? I can just see it being one of them, a slugfest. If someone scores early, it'll change everything. Regardless of who scores, it'll change everything. But I'm not so sure. Maddie, how do you feel about it? Again, do you feel that do you think Eze's going to get dropped? Do you think Saliba will be back in? And what's your score prediction?
There's a few things here to look at. If Saliba was back in the team, we know he still hadn't learned anything about injuries. Player welfare is still not of the highest note for him. Second thing, if you see Eze out of this lineup for this game on Sunday, then Eze better start getting on the phone and see if he got a way to get out of that contract. Because if you telling me a player like Eberechi Eze is not playing in this game, Man City.
Yeah, why we get him then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's not starting, then we got some major issues here. If he's not starting, second thing here, if this manager comes out there with that midfield again, with the three blind mice, if he comes out there with three blind mice in midfield again, then we know what it is. Get ready for a draw.
Yep.
So for me, it's just a case of it's almost like which way you want. Because we're gonna be in trouble either way it go. I'm going 1-1 because I hadn't seen anything, especially against when we play competitive teams. Competitive. I'm talking competitive. When we like City, Liverpool. This is a competitive match. This is when you start seeing the real Arsenal show up under this manager. So I'm gonna take a 1-1, and for me, I just don't see him changing from what we saw on Tuesday night. And just like Terrence said, he'll change the entire team up for Tuesday. If you want to watch Skelly, if you want to watch Diamond, and you want to watch some of the youngsters and guys that we've been demanding to come into this team to make sure you get to wherever you are on Wednesday to watch them, because that's going to be the only time you'll be able to watch them this year. Because after that game, and we get the next draw, he's going right back to Marine to the 3 blind mice.
Yeah. And just I wanted to pull this up because this is the Arteta cult at its best, right? Because Arteta did this. He took credit, shamelessly took credit for Mourinho scoring a hat-trick for Spain, right? And these guys that use it to defend his formation don't realise that they're actually belittling their own manager because he can't get the best out of him. Mourinho has started 13 games in midfield for Arsenal. We've won 4 of them. We've won 4 of them. Does that record could transfer to Spain? All it proves is that this manager doesn't know how to get the best out of Mourinho. That's all it proved. So starting with Mourinho, Rice, and Zubimendi, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. We don't play the football Spain play. They're not allowed to express themselves in the same way. You could put, prime Messi in this team. He would be restricted. He wouldn't be allowed go where he wants on the pitch. He'd be told to hug the touchline, guys. So there's a big difference between, look, I get it, with Spain, 2 of them played. They had Pedri beside them. The best attacking midfielder probably in the world. You know what I mean? So it's a totally different thing. Totally different thing. But what do you feel, Norms? Do you think, again, with the Eze thing, the Saliba thing, and what score do you will be?
Yeah, apologies, my internet is just playing up. So if you can hear me, because you keep disappearing.
It's perfect.
If you can hear me, just let me know.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so I said that I did say earlier on in the stream. I said 2-1, but that's dependent on who. If Eze starts, Saliba starts. I was going to go for a 2-1, but I don't see that happening. I think he's going to end up bringing in Martinelli in, leaving Eze on the bench, and I think we end up drawing the game based on his prediction of his match selection. So. Yeah, 2-1. I was saying 2-1, but because of what Martinelli did against Bilbao, the first thought that came to my head is that he's going to drop Eze, put him in there, and obviously Mascara will probably continue to play depending on the match fitness of Saliba. So yeah, my heart is saying 2-1, but my head is saying a draw.
You think a draw?
Only that. The reason why I'm saying that, I think the only reason I'm saying my heart's saying 2-1 is just that we just can't afford to drop behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it will be?
I think the reality is that we end up probably drawing the game.
Yeah, and the problem would be if Liverpool, and I think they will beat Everton. You know what this guy's like under pressure. If they're already 6 points clear going into that game, he'll be, oh God, maybe it'll push him to go for the win. Who knows? But I just don't think he has it in him. I just don't think he has it in him. And that's my worry, is that people talk about Liverpool riding their luck. We're riding our luck with these defensive formations and nicking wins. For me, nicking 1-0 wins against United, nicking it wasn't nicking a 2-goal lead or win against Bilbao. I don't know. But big up to I don't want to butcher your name, but I presume it's Shatanya, but big up to you. Tanya, okay. He says, big up panel. If we want to win a major trophy, we must win every home game this season, from Burnley to Bayern. Stakes have never been higher. I agree with that. That should be your aim. If you're going to be a league winner or a Champions League winner or a cup winner, your aim should be to at least be unbeaten at home. It's not always going to happen, but it should definitely be your aim. You have to make your home ground a fortress. That goes for the teams that come up as well. Make your home ground a fortress and try and get as many points as you can. And if you get a free hit away from home, brilliant. But yeah, we should be looking to do that. You should always be looking. If you're a top team, funnily enough, you should be. Your aim should be to go unbeaten. You know what I mean? But you're not going to. But that should be your aim if you want to win the big trophies. But listen, we have our predictions. I can't. I don't know. I think it's a draw or a 1-0 win for us. It's just one of those games. It's going to be. I think it's going to be nasty. I think it's going to be. There could be a sending off somewhere along the line for either team. It's got that feel about it, but we shall see. Well, listen, guys, we've gone for over 2 hours. There's been over 100 odd in the room the whole time, showing their support. Absolute legends. Yeah. So big up to everybody in the chat. Make sure you're slapping the likes and make sure you're subbing to everybody. We are going to wrap it now very soon, but I will run around and find out what people have coming up and thank them personally for coming on, because as I said before, it's very humbling that there's so many legends that give up their time for me. But Jezza, thanks so much again for coming on. You're an absolute legend. I love going on your channel. And do you have anything coming up that you want to shout out, or?
Yeah, I've actually got I'm actually once again going to be a whore and go around all the different channels. Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, I'm on with TJ and Dow for the American Idiot Show. And then I'm going to do a match preview Saturday, and then a match review maybe Sunday. And then Monday, 6 o'clock, the weekly podcast with Lee and DJ, Kenny, and Matty, if Matty's there. And then Tuesday on mine is the old school show. This week, Lee Gunner is going to join us. And then, of course, Wednesday night, we've got Paul Val. So it's a busy old time.
Lovely stuff. And again, thanks so much for coming on. Taryn,
Yes,
you put
sir.
the hours in. You always give out top quality content, and you're becoming an all-time regular here. There's always a spot here for you. You're one of my favorite streamers out there. I love listening to you, and thanks so much for coming on. Have you got anything coming up that you want to shout out for the people?
Yeah, man, I appreciate those kind words. I'm on with the Waffle Down tomorrow for the weekend warm-up, where we do some rundowns of the predictions. We'll probably touch on some of the Champions League fixtures of today. And on Sunday, we're on the pre-warm-up show, or the prediction or the lineup show with Rashid on Sunday before kickoff. So yeah, it's at BBK Sports. If you want some more positive negativity, come check me out.
Absolute real one. Thanks so much again for coming on, Maddie. Whenever you can give up your time, it's always massively appreciated. You know, if you ever need me to go do the same for you, I'll always be there. You're one of the realest ones out there. You've been really nice to me since I started this whole YouTube. Everybody has, to be fair. It's been the biggest bonus I think of doing this is getting to meet people and, you know, chatting to them on the phone and stuff like that. But are you on any panels? Have you got anything lined up, or what's the story with yourself?
Well, I've got to work this weekend, so unfortunately I'm going to actually miss the game, but I'll actually be back by the time we get to the emergency stream. So I should be on the emergency stream this weekend. I'm going to try to, where I'm at, I'm going to try to stop off and try to find a bar to catch the game and watch it once I wrap up. So I'll be doing that. And then Monday, I'll be there with Brother Jez. I will be there with Jez, Kenny, and the guys on Monday, breaking this down, preparing for Port Vale, the big matchup against Port Vale on Wednesday. So we'll be talking about that, and that's it, man. That's it. Big up everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, man. Glad to be back a little bit, man, because I've been working so much I hadn't really had time to do anything. So glad to see everybody, man.
Big up, man. Yeah.
No, big up. Absolute legend. And the funny thing is that the League Cup games, I do quite enjoy them, because we normally get to see the likes of Wanyeri playing in the 10 from the start. And you know what I mean? You get to see some of the players that should probably be getting more minutes. But Norms, the record continues, man. The record continues. Every single Bruised Banana, 19 and counting now you've done since the very beginning.
Yeah, man. I know BBK is coming. It's coming for me. It's coming for me.
He's waiting for you to
I
slip.
bet he was happy when he didn't see me. He didn't show his full eye.
I was like,
slipping up, mate.
He knows he made a late entrance like a wrestler coming in.
I saw your face when I
heard his team tune. He heard his team tune kick in, and he came running down into the ring. But Norms, absolute pleasure as always. What have you got coming up, my friend?
Absolutely big up. So Sunday, I'm doing my match reaction, and then I've had an invite from is it the free catch up? Is it the free catch up?
Yeah,
channel?
the catch up. Yeah,
what's that channel called? The free catch up?
Yeah, no, just the catch up.
Yeah, the catch up or whatever it's called. The catch up. Okay, the catch up. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to be making a debut on this show. Yeah, be making a debut on this show, and to do the match reaction. I think it's for about an hour, and I'm also doing a pre-record with Shane, the fan cam. So quite a busy weekend, and then right back around to Monday, the OGs, and my show on Wednesday, What's Going On podcast, and I'll be obviously watching the game after to see how we get through Port Vale. So yeah, big up to everybody, big up to the chat, Matty, Jez, Taryn. It's just great company, and obviously Lee, Arsenal Alliance, big up to him as well.
Absolute legends. No, it's actually, honestly, lads, I did put up a post earlier saying that it never ceases to humble me when there's people like yourselves giving up your time. You're giving up hours out of your week to come on here and have a chat with me, and it means the world to me. I will obviously be back tomorrow morning for the full Irish. And then on Sunday, I will be doing my first group of fan cams. I have the wonderful Taryn and the wonderful Normski doing it. So they'll be giving up even more time for me. But I'm going to give fan cams a go. Obviously, tomorrow then as well, the full Irish will lead into Como over and we'll cover all the Italian football and all that stuff. But loads of stuff. It's all on the channel. Go in, hit the notification to make sure you're there. The numbers for the morning show being crazy at the moment. So big up to everybody for coming in. Big up to everybody that was here tonight. I will redirect you over to the captain himself. Lee is live. So he's go over there, show him some love, hit him with a Shane Gooner raid. And I'll see you all in the morning. Absolute legends. Have a good one, people.
Take care.